It was a simple mistake.
That's how it started. Not a mission, not a battle, not some grand, destiny-driven moment. Just the wrong seat. Beginning. The wrong place. The diplomatic chamber aboard the Virexian flagship was unlike anything I had ever seen. Circular, massive, and impossibly quiet. No chatter. No movement. Just rows of elevated platforms arranged in perfect symmetry, each one reserved for delegates, commanders, and figures far above my rank. I shouldn't have been there, but orders were orders. Standby support, Commander Zyra had told me. Remain present. Speak only if addressed. In other words, be invisible. I stepped into the chamber, trying to look like I belonged, even though every instinct told me I didn't. Seats were already filling. Alien dignitaries, armored guards, advisors, all taking their assigned positions with precision. I glanced at the nearest empty seat. No markings I could understand. No one stopping me. So I sat down. That was my mistake. Because seconds later, the entire room shifted. A subtle movement. A quiet tension. Heads turning. And then, I felt it. A presence beside me. Slowly, I turned my head. And there she was. The Queen. The Queen. Queen Lyrie didn't need an introduction. Her presence alone was enough. She wasn't just royalty. She was authority, power, and control, all wrapped into one being. And I was sitting next to her. "You've got to be kidding me," I muttered under my breath. I started to stand. Fast. Too fast. "I apologize," I began. Her hand moved. Not quickly. Not forcefully. But deliberately. She took mine. And held it. "Stay," she whispered. The moment that changed everything. I froze. Not because of fear, but because of something else. Her hand, it was warm. Unexpectedly so. And steady. "You're in the wrong seat," I said quietly, trying to pull my hand back. She didn't let go. "I am aware," she replied. I blinked. "Then why?" "Because you chose it," she said. That didn't make sense. None of this made sense. "I didn't choose anything," I said. "I just didn't know." "Exactly," she said softly. Her grip didn't tighten, but it didn't loosen either. And for reasons I couldn't explain, I stopped trying to leave. Middle, the unspoken connection. The meeting began. Voices filled the chamber, alien languages, translated into something I could understand. Discussions of alliances, conflicts, trade routes, war. I heard none of it, because I was acutely aware of one thing, her hand in mine. She didn't look at me, didn't acknowledge me beyond that initial moment, but she didn't let go. And somehow, that felt intentional. Questions without answers. After the meeting ended, the chamber slowly emptied. Delegates left. Guards repositioned. But I stayed. Because she hadn't released my hand. Finally, I spoke. "You're going to have to explain this." She turned to me. Slowly. "Explain what?" she asked. "This," I said, gesturing between us. She studied me. Not as a queen observing a subject, but as someone trying to understand something unfamiliar. "You did not react as expected," she said. I frowned. "Expected how?" "With fear," she replied. "Or submission." I let out a short breath. I was mostly confused. For the first time, a faint smile touched her lips. "That is acceptable," she said. The truth behind her actions. Over the next few days, I was summoned repeatedly. Not for missions. Not for debriefings. But for her. Each time, it was the same. A quiet room. Minimal guards. And questions. "You do not seek power," she said during one of those meetings. "No," I replied. "You do not fear me. I mean, I probably should. But you do not. I shrugged. I've faced worse. That caught her attention.
Explain, she said. So I did.
I told her about Earth.
About war. About loss. About the things that shaped me.
And for the first time, she listened, not as a ruler, but as someone learning, a different kind of bond. It became routine. Conversations. Silence. Moments where words weren't necessary. And sometimes, she would take my hand again, not as a command, not as control, but as something else. Comfort. Conflict emerges. Of course, not everyone approved. You are overstepping, Commander Zyra warned me. I didn't ask for this, I said. That is irrelevant, she replied. You are influencing the Queen. I'm not doing anything. That is precisely the concern. The pressure builds.
Whispers spread.
Rumors grew. A human, close to the Queen? Unacceptable. And eventually, it reached her. They believe you are a weakness, she said one evening. I nodded.
Yeah.
I figured. And you? What about me? Do you believe the same? I looked at her. Really looked at her. No, I said. The breaking point. The tension reached its peak during a council assembly. Voices raised. Accusations made. This human has no place beside you, one of the leaders declared. The room erupted. I stayed silent, because this wasn't my world. But then, she stood, and the room fell quiet. He sits where I choose, she said.
Her voice was calm,
but absolute. And he stays, she added, ending the choice to stay. Later, alone, I found her again.
You didn't have to do that, I said.
Yes, she replied. I did. I sighed. You know this isn't going to get easier.
I do not seek easy, she said.
I smiled faintly.
Yeah.
I noticed. There was a pause. Then, she reached for my hand again. This time, I didn't hesitate. Stay, she said softly. And this time, it wasn't a command. It was a request. I looked at her, at everything this meant, the risk, the consequences, the unknown. And then, I made my choice. I'm not going anywhere, I said, because sometimes, the biggest moments in life don't come from battles or destiny. They come from simple mistakes, like sitting in the wrong seat and choosing to stay.